This is the third speech. These are my note cards. This is the audience. There's Granny, my beautiful wife Diana, and Billy. In the world today, there is one disease that is becoming more and more dominant, and that is the high blood pressure. High blood pressure is becoming more of a hassle due to the fact that we have more modern ways of finding out what our blood pressure is. With blood pressure, we a lot of times go to the doctor and we figure out, okay, do we have high blood pressure? What's our family history, medical history, and we have to make sure that everything is okay. So something that we're going to go into is kind of how this methodology came to be, kind of the history of blood pressure. Now then, according to the History of Blood Pressure Monitoring website, there was a guy by the name of Reverend Stephen Hale, and he used a glass tube theory. And the glass tube, basically, he stuck a glass tube in the neck of a horse near an artery, and he measured the blood pressure by the blood flow in the glass tube. Went from one point to another. And the difference between the high point and the low point was how he calculated the blood pressure. It's very simple, but nobody wants a big glass tube stuck in their arm or anything like that. So what was a different way for us to come up with a more humane findings of blood pressure? So Korotkov found a way that he discovered where you can listen to the blood pulsing in your arm or your veins or arteries or wherever there are extremities. Now then, we use the same method today, believe it or not, and that's in a cuff, as is shown here in the picture. And the cuff wraps around your arm, and then you use a stethoscope. The stethoscope is how you hear that faint sound of blood pumping through your vessels. Now then, in today's society, we go into a fact of we're going to have pills to take to lower our blood pressure. It's something that the doctors are recommending now. 90% of us are going to have high blood pressure. So a lot of people are getting pills. But something else that the doctors don't tell you is diet, exercise. Simple things like that are really going to help. As long as you maintain a healthy diet, exercise a minimum amount of time every day, you'll be all right. You'll be less likely to have high blood pressure. Especially in today's society, everybody's wanting to loaf around and sit behind a TV screen instead of getting up and being active. So that's something that's not going to change throughout history, and something that we're actually facing more and more in today's time. Now then, towards the future, a lot of people are wanting something that will help them. So something that was taken into effect was at the American Heart Association, they're doing some lab researches. And the lab research shows that on rats, they're giving them an injection, and in that injection, they're steadying the heart pulse. And everything is working out great. So for 6 months, they don't need anything. No attention, no pills, no nothing. So it's awesome. So a lot of people are going to be going to this drug that they're inventing. Now then, again, high blood pressure is genetic. It runs through the family, so if your granddaddy has it or your dad has it, you're more than likely going to have high blood pressure. It's inevitable, especially as you get older. That's just part of the future with high blood pressure medicine, and something that we'll have to deal with as it comes along. The main point is make sure that you stay healthy, keep a good diet, exercise, and just make sure that every time you go to the doctor, you're monitoring your heart, monitoring your blood pressure, because eventually it'll lead to a stroke or even fatalities if it's not taken care of.